In today's video, I'm going to discuss 3 glaring issues that are holding Gambit back from a game mode that I would otherwise look very forward to playing. Yes, I do recognize that Gambit Prime is a severe upgrade over the normal Gambit, and I think Bungie should be commended. It is a very fun game mode to play. However, let's get into those 3 issues before you click out of the video. So I'm just going to rapid fire them, then go over them one by one. The 3 glaring issues are as follows. Number 1, heavy ammo. Number 2, menu armor weapon swapping. And number 3, solo matchmaking. Starting off with the first issue, let's talk about heavy ammo. The main problem stems from the armor mod, Taken Armaments. You can obtain this mod from, I believe, doing the Last Wish raid, opening chests, that sort of thing. What it does is, when you defeat a Taken enemy with a grenade, it has a chance, that's randomness, I don't like it, a chance to grant heavy ammo to reserves. Here's a live example in the background. Notice that I have 0 machine gun reserves, toss a grenade, then I'm gifted 60 bullets. To make matters worse, with certain subclass perks and combinations of armor, you can actually just toss grenades like nearly non-stop, and that equates to a lot of power ammo. Now I can understand an argument on the other side saying that everybody has access to this perk, so everybody has power ammo, so it's balanced and fair, but in my opinion, fighting people with power ammo versus power ammo is just not very fun. Look at the background. Look at how easily I mopped this entire team with the machine gun. It's very effortless combined with the wall hacks and overshield that an invader gets, on top of the fact that my machine gun is a perfect roll. For reference, it has rampage, so every guardian I kill adds a stack of rampage, adding more damage, making the next fight that much easier, but it also has ricochet rounds for extended range and a stability masterwork, so I don't have to control recoil as much. And considering the range drop off of machine guns, I can't really think of a map where people could hide from my machine gun. Unfortunately, Taken Armaments isn't the only way to receive power ammo. You can actually receive it from killing any enemy, and they might drop a power ammo brick, which you could pick up. I don't know if this system is random, or if there is a certain amount of bricks that are guaranteed to drop on each side, yours and the enemies, but regardless, I don't really like that system, because the last way to get power ammo is to take it off the wall at designated timers. Keep in mind that the power ammo on the wall can only be grabbed by one person, and it comes at regular intervals, so there's a skill to timing when you bank, so that you can grab the power ammo, and there's a choice to be made because there are 4 people on your team. Do you want a machine gun for a sentry? Do you want a machine gun for an invader? Do you want a colony for an invader? Or do you want to use something like Wardcliff Coil for boss DPS? There are choices to be made. One of my favorite uses for power ammo is to use a sword with a warlock so you can sword fly across the map, leading to faster banking. I think it's a very clever use of power ammo, especially when I'm choosing my exotic weapon to be something like Izanagi's Burden, which is perfect for invading on its own. So to recap what I've talked about so far, the problem I find with heavy ammo is that Taken Armaments and the random drops make it far too abundant, leading to every single engagement being about power ammo, which unfortunately makes the game very one-dimensional because you don't have to make any difficult choices for your team loadout for power ammo. However, I do think that the ammo picked up on the wall is okay. I'm sure in the future the frequency of the ammo and the amount of ammo you get per brick might need to change, but if the simple change to disabling Taken Armaments and random power ammo drops was made, I can see this game mode being significantly improved. The second glaring issue I find with Gambit Prime is that you can open up the menu and switch your armor and weapons at any time, leading to having a very convenient advantage for whatever task you're dealing with. For example, in Gambit, you get to choose between one of 4 roles: Collector, Invader, Sentry, or Reaper. But with the ability to just open the menu and switch your armor or weapons, I can be both simultaneously a Collector and an Invader. Even worse for my enemies, I can change my weapon loadout to better fit wherever I happen to spawn. So if I spawn way too far away and I don't have sniper ammo, well, I can just switch my submachine gun to a pulse rifle that has more range than a scout rifle, mind you, and just take them out in their spawn. Not to overcomplicate things, but if you have a full set bonus for a specific role, that's usually very advantageous. However, for certain builds, you could be a hybrid of 2 roles. So you can have like +9 in one and +6 in the other with the boon popped. The hybrid set that my character abuses is a partial collector set with a boon amounting to the full set bonus, and then an actual full invader set anytime my teammates want me to invade. Out of all the full set bonuses, I think that Invader is the most beneficial to winning matches, because if you invade with the full set, you lock your opponent's bank, preventing any further progress for them, even if you don't get any kills. So after the 30 seconds, you teleport back to your side, bank opens again, then they can deposit. I think I'm understating how advantageous a full Invader set is. On the other hand, let's talk about the collector set bonus. If you max out a collector set, you're able to carry up to 20 motes, and this unlocks you the option of a enhanced blocker. However, I don't think that the 20 blocker is worth it compared to the 15, but the ability to carry more motes means that you can reach your primeval faster, so there is that small advantage which I definitely use. So now that you understand how both sets work, let me tell you how I hybrid menu swap to abuse both. First off, I start with 4 collector pieces and a collector boon, which is the same as having 5 collector pieces. My exotic armor is a Skull of Dire Hamkara, so if I have a Nova Bomb and use it, I'm very likely to get almost my entire super back. I also have the Taken Armaments mod on my helmet, so if I use my grenade to kill Taken, I get power ammo, and then because of enhanced ashes to asset, I get a super faster, leading to a unlimited chain of power ammo and supers. If I'm doing my job as a collector correctly, we'll probably have the first invasion portal, and if nobody wants to invade, well, that just tells me I get to go into my menu, switch to the entire invader set. I don't necessarily need the skull anymore, because I'm probably not going to dump a Solo Nova when I invade. I have Izanagi's Burden after all, or a machine gun. And I get to lock down my opponent's bank, and even if I do nothing, it's still very advantageous to my team, because while my opponents are doing nothing, my team is free to do whatever they want, which means they'll probably just bank more motes and get another invasion portal for me, so that as soon as I return, I can go right back into the portal. If you're following along with what I said, you can probably imagine why this is very busted and makes the game mode kind of unfun, because the choice isn't there. I don't have to make that difficult choice of if I want to be a collector, or if I want to be an invader, or if I want to be a partial collector-invader hybrid where I don't get the full benefits of either. So how can this glaring issue be fixed? In my opinion, I think it might be smart to start experimenting with lock loadouts in Gambit Prime. Maybe in the lobby of a match, you know, when the drifter is showing that little dog tag thing and saying ding, that's when you can swap your stuff. But as soon as you're teleported in, no more swapping. I can imagine if there were lock loadouts, this could lead to some team composition conundrums where there's too much of the same role. So imagine accidentally starting a match and then finding out that there's 4 collectors. While summoning Exodia is pretty funny, you're probably going to lose the match, let's be real. So I already know that there are emblems in the game that show off if you're a collector, invader, reaper, sentry, whatever. You have to do triumphs to unlock those. I actually think they should just be base unlocked to anybody who has the full set, or there should be something additional in the roster before a game starts that signifies that somebody is a full bona fide collector, so that maybe you can change last second to your sentry gear, for example. Also, while I'm on the soapbox, let's buff the giant blocker. Come on, that thing gets knocked over like a house of cards. It is very embarrassing to save up 20 motes and then go send, what is that from Punch? A Glass Joe over to the enemy side and just get laughed at, destroyed in one Chaos Reach. The giant blocker doesn't have to be Leviathan Eater of Worlds or anything, but it does have to be better than the 15 mote Captain, which throws more shade than a 6 stack full of Night Stalkers. Giant blockers aside, let's talk about the third and final glaring issue to Gambit Prime, which is solo matchmaking. I know, shocker. I understand that there is skill-based matchmaking associated with Gambit, and that's fine and all, but almost every time I match an organized team of 4, I lose because I simply cannot do 4 jobs at once. I can do 1.5 jobs, maybe even 2 on a good day, but I can't do everything by myself, so playing a team of 4 almost always results in an instant loss, and it kills the morale of my blueberries. Like, when you see a 4 stack, sometimes they just don't even try, and I'm forced to throw the match because I would rather just end it in 5 minutes than drag it along to 9 minutes. While I most definitely agree that there should be some sort of skill-based matchmaking to prevent blowouts in Gambit, I also think that freelance matchmaking or solo matchmaking should be heavily emphasized. If your response to me saying that is, well, it already emphasizes solo matchmaking, my response to that is it possible to maybe make it emphasize solo matchmaking even more? Now, what I'm about to say is very heavily biased with the quality of teammates that I have access to on the regular, but if I play with a good team of 4, we can be virtually unbeatable because we simply don't match other teams. But luckily, I'm blessed with very fun-loving clanmates that would rather do very fun stuff than completely stomp blueberries, so we'd rather go in with 4 collectors and just try our best to win despite that disadvantage than totally rolling over the enemy. The realization I've come to in Gambit is that when I actually do play with a team against a strong team in Gambit, it's not as fun as it can be simply because of those glaring issues that I talked about earlier in the video. Now, if those were solved, I would have a much better time actually going for it and competing in Gambit, but as of now, it doesn't do it for me. So my current relationship with the Gambit Prime playlist is that I solo queue, I try to get rewards. Depending on how strong my enemy is, I either throw with my blueberries or try my hardest to win very quickly so that I can maybe get a god roll shotgun that can deal with supers in the Crucible. I still don't understand why high impact snipes and shotgun melees don't easily deal with supers, but you can get weapons that can deal with them if you're very lucky. So I just do my Gambit Prime weeklies, try to get those rewards, and if I don't, no big deal. But if those issues I talked about in this video were fixed and Gambit Prime was very, very enjoyable, and as a solo player I wouldn't consistently run into teams, then I would play it because I find it fun, not because I want rewards. To conclude this video, I'm gonna say that I regret not making this video immediately on like day 1 of trying out Gambit Prime, because I thought that these issues were glaring enough that they would be a very high priority fix and be fixed, I don't know, within 2 weeks. But here I am making the video, so if you agree with what I said in this video or feel that you can add more constructive, emphasis on the word constructive, criticism, then by all means do. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, I understand that this video is me pretty much just complaining. Let it be known that I really enjoy the idea of Gambit and Gambit Prime, though I recognize that it needs some polishing, so I hope I didn't come off as condescending or know-it-all. I completely get that game development is a pain in the ass, to say the least, so I just hope that this criticism is taken to heart, and if enough people agree with me, maybe it can lead to some positive change. So on that note, don't be a dick to other people in the comment section or to Bungie developers. Thank you.